You know, I don't think a lot of us truly realize what it means to make massive amounts of progress. I don't think we really realize what you have to do, what you have to change about yourself, what you have to sacrifice to truly go all in and make massive progress. Because I certainly didn't. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But it's scary. It's scary, but at the same time, it's life-changing in a good way. When you decide that you're going to make a commitment to yourself to become the best version of yourself. It's scary because when I started taking everything way more seriously, when I started to go to the gym every single day, when I started to wake up at 4:30 a.m. every single morning, and when I decided to make sacrificial habits, it's scary because what I realized after the first month of doing all of this is you can't stop. You can't stop without falling into this horrible depression. Now, as much as controversial as depression is, I never got to that point. And what I mean when I say that is, back in January of this year, 2024, when I started waking up at 4:30 a.m., when I started doing all of these sacrificial things, when I truly decided I was going to go all in on my goals, I don't know what I look like. I can't see myself. But what I realized really quickly was, well, I'll put it this way. After about the first week or two, when I started to wake up that early and, just push myself like I never did before, what I realized quickly was, well, there was one day that came when I gave into the temptation. I laid back in bed after I turned my alarm off, and I was like, God, I've been doing this for a week or two. I deserve a break. I don't have to get up today. And what happened was, that next day when I woke up after sleeping in, I truly felt like shit. I truly did. And what I realized really quickly was I had just trapped myself into success. Because once you accept the terms to exceptional habits, once you tell yourself and make commitments that you never have before, you realize really quickly that you've trapped yourself. In a good way, though. Because what I realized that day that I slept in was, when I told myself I was going to start waking up early, when I told myself I was going to start doing all these things, going to the gym consistently, actually taking action on my work every single day, on my business, on just life. What I realized is if I stopped doing those things because I slept in that day, I give myself a break. What I realized is if I stop doing these things, a depression was coming. I could feel it. Because, I'm trying to think of a better word than that. I'll just put it this way. I would have never been the same. Because when you set commitments to yourself, things that are that extreme, things that will literally force you to level up, it sets a new standard for you. It sets a new standard for you that you have to match every single day, or you will literally lose your mind. Because you're telling your brain that, you're showing your brain that you're capable of so much more. So if you do any less, your brain knows you're being a fucking bitch. And because you're being a bitch, because you're not truly giving 100%, you feel like shit. So, like I said, it's scary. Because I realize now, and especially now after doing this for 10 months, I can never go back. I can never go back. But I didn't realize what I was getting myself into. I didn't realize that it truly took so much more than I realized when you commit to this. When you tell yourself you're going to literally grind every day, go all in, no more setbacks, no more complacency. I didn't realize how much effort it would truly take to make this much progress. I didn't realize, because before January, I had horrible habits. I would stay up all night till 4, 5, 6 a.m. playing video games, scrolling on social media, watching YouTube videos, mentally masturbating to self-improvement content, which if you're doing, by the way, get the fuck off the app. Truly, please. It pisses me off, because when I say that, I'm thinking about myself from last year, and you're fucking retarded, bro. If you're doing that, get off. Like, stop watching my video. It's like this one right now. Because you guys are holding yourself back from success even more when you do that. If you just watch self-improvement content and like videos of supercars and all this shit, you're literally shooting yourself in the foot. You're making it harder for yourself to make progress, because your brain's getting a bunch of dopamine hits watching all these videos. Your brain's getting dopamine hits watching someone else drive a supercar, watching someone else go to the gym, watching someone else talk about how you need to lock in. So you never actually do it. It's the same thing about how when you guys tell, I was a victim of this too, when you tell everybody about all your goals, about everything you're gonna do, you never actually take action. Because you're just releasing dopamine every time you tell everyone and you talk about your goals, and it makes you feel good. But then you're not going to get the dopamine from doing the thing. So please stop. I'm saying that because I'm literally trying to reframe you guys' mind. Like, if you're doing that, you need to stop, bro. Make this the last video you watch. You need to be implementing the things that you guys watch on the internet that can change your life. But like I was saying, my habits were horrible. I would stay up all night, 4, 5, 6 a.m., sleep in the next day, every day, and I wondered why I felt like shit every single day. No wonder. I would work on, I didn't even really, I was working on like online income skills at the time, stuff like copywriting and that, and I would, do a little bit of work, not even like an hour, and then I would just fuck around for the rest of the day because I felt like I earned it. And that's the other thing. You guys can't reward yourself after the smallest bit of work because that's unrealistic. That's not how life works. You need to be able to put in so much effort every single day and come back with the same level of enthusiasm, the same amount of drive, the same amount of intention, regardless of seeing immediate results. You have to be able to. I wondered why I felt like shit every single day. Because I wasn't really giving 100%. I was just giving a little bit. But it's truly astonishing to me how much effort it truly takes to make progress. I truly did not understand. Because not only does it require you to make sacrifices like forcing yourself to do uncomfortable things, right? Like waking up early, forcing yourself to do the mundane hard work that you know is going to move the needle, but you don't always feel like doing every single day. Going to the gym when you don't feel like it. Whatever it is for you. Not only does it require you to add new habits that are uncomfortable, but it also requires you to kill a little bit of your old self. You need to sacrifice that old part of you. And to do that, the things that your old self, the version of you that was going nowhere, the things that version of you indulged in, you need to eliminate. It doesn't matter if it's old habits, like drugs, video games, alcohol, social media, porn. It doesn't matter if it's old friends. That's a big one. A lot of the times, if your friends see you changing, they don't like it because it makes them insecure, because you're now breaking out of that barrier, that mental box that they like to put you in. And you're making them insecure because when they see you put in more effort, when they see you change, when they see you change your habits and start hanging out with them less, obviously if they didn't decide to join you on the journey. I'm not saying you have to cut them out if only if they're holding you back. But it makes them insecure because they ask themselves, well, why don't I have the motivation to start a business? Why don't I have the motivation to work as hard as he is? And it makes them mad. So the resentment is going to come from inside of them, not you. You have to remember that. But you have to cut them off if they're holding you back. And not just because of, that saying, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Obviously, it's very true. And it's not just because of that. It's because all of the old habits, the old friends, the old things, vices that you used to indulge in, if you're trying to change yourself and become a new person, every bit of those old habits, if you indulge in them, are going to give you that sense of familiarity with that old self. And if you keep giving into that stuff, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to keep giving into the old habits, which means it's simultaneously going to make it harder for you to change. I know this because I dealt with this for months. January, February, March, April, I started waking up at 4:30 a.m. I started putting a lot more effort into my goals, into my work. I started doing the sacrificial habits, the cold shower in the morning, right? Going outside regardless of the weather and doing push-ups and posting it on my Instagram story for you guys to hold you accountable. To hold me accountable and to motivate you guys. But there was little aspects of my old life that I would still indulge in. I would play video games like maybe once or twice a week. I'd catch myself watching social media a little bit too much without, in the bad way, just mind-numbing scrolling. And I'm not saying that, like, if you guys are making a lot of progress playing video games for 1 hour a week when you have free time isn't going to all of a sudden destroy everything you've made, all the progress you've made. I'm not saying that. Some of you guys can do that. But for me, and I'm sure some of you guys will be able to relate, it's just the fact that I'm indulging in something that seems so familiar, seems so comfortable to my old self, where it's not that I feel like everything's gonna crumble if I play the video game, but it's just the fact that I don't feel like I've fully changed. And just a little bit of complacency because I decided to give in to something that my old self would do that isn't benefiting me, that's gonna slowly bleed into other aspects of my life. My work, my effort in the gym. Like, all these other things are slightly gonna, subconsciously, I'm gonna become more complacent in. And that's just me. That might not be you guys, but that's just me. So what I realized is I had to cut out as many of those things as possible. Because sure, you can add new habits to your life if you decided you need to fucking change. If you've decided you need to genuinely go all in. You can add new habits. You can add new skills. But if you still indulge in all of the old habits of your old self that aren't beneficial, you're only going to make like 50% more progress towards your goals, your mission, your purpose, the reason you wanted to change. You have to eliminate the back end to truly go 100%. If this is you, and these are the new habits that you added, the things that are going to propel you forward towards your goals, and these are your old habits. Every single day, if you work on these new habits, yeah, you're going to keep getting better as you work on these new habits, but the old ones are slowly going to pull just a little bit. They're slowly going to pull at your new ones. It's just going to cause you to go down, up and down slowly. And this is how we get in the cycle of taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. But if you eliminate all of those old habits and you only have the new ones, they become who you are. You've made an identity shift. And now you just go up and up every day because there's nothing pulling you down. I hope that fucking makes sense, because I've noticed a genuine shift in my mindset when I started doing this. When I started cutting out the old habits. The shit food. I used to fucking get McDonald's. Like, I used to actually eat there. I used to eat fast food and I wouldn't, I knew nothing about nutrition. I would go half-ass in the gym. I wouldn't really go till failure. I would just go till it kind of hurts, till where I think I'm doing enough, And it's not about doing what you think is enough. It's about doing what is literally required to make you getting to your goals impossible. That's what it's about. You guys need to stop this fucking stupid mindset of, oh, I did a little bit of work. That's good. That's enough. Well, I guess he's right. I should start waking up early. I'll get up at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. That's earlier than what I'm getting up at now, which is 10, 11 a.m. because I sleep in. I'll go to the gym and do a little bit of cardio. You know, I'll maybe lift a little bit of weights, then I'll come home and then I'll go back to bed. Just so I can optimize a little bit more. Do you realize that you're never gonna go anywhere with that mindset? There are literally people in this world that you live in that if you saw what they did on a daily basis, it would blow your mind. That whole 25-30% effort, oh, I think I'm giving enough. It's at least more than I was before. You're not going to make it, bro. Because there's people that will literally give anything. There's people that will wake up and they don't give a fuck how they feel. And they will take action fully, 100%. In the gym, with the daily sacrifices, on their work, they'll sit down for 10 hours straight. They don't give a fuck if their health declines because of it. They don't give a shit how they feel. If they get a headache, they don't care. They will literally do what is required to make getting to their goals, to their dream life, impossible. Anything. So when you think, well, that's enough, I'll just do a little bit more. That's not enough. It's not actually enough. The fact that there's men that will literally drop everything, quit drugs in one day like that, quit video games like that, their vices like that, fast food, everything that's not actually benefiting them, deep down, if you cut off the excuses, well, it helps my anxiety, well, it's a good way for me to blow off steam. If you cut all the bullshit off, you'll realize. And there's people that are willing to do that and that have done that. And you wonder why they make so much progress. I'm thinking of people in my head right now. It's like, we all want to get to our goals quickly, right? We all want to, we all want to get jacked as quick as possible. We want to get rich as soon as possible. And that doesn't fucking happen. That doesn't exist. Sure, there's random outliers, random exceptions, random scenarios where you can, like the lottery and win fucking $1 million, right? Or, but those are exceptions, and the exception doesn't make the rule. Those are outliers. There's no such thing as getting there within a month. Like, that doesn't happen. The progress that you make when you give 100% effort. Some of you guys don't even know what that means, to give 100% effort. I certainly did not fucking know what it meant. And it is hard sometimes. Like, when I've gone 2 months straight, not genuinely missing a single fucking day of 4:30 a.m. getting up because I said I was going to make that commitment. You can go on my Instagram story and see. Every single day I post it. There are days, because back in January, like, that's when I said I was going to start doing it, I would still give in to the comfort sometimes. And I struggled with that. But it's been months now, and I genuinely have not missed because I realized I was done taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. And you need to realize that too, brother. But it's just, we don't realize how much effort it really takes. And it is hard. Some days I genuinely do not want to get up. Those of you that have gotten up at 4:30 a few times a week maybe, or you've done it once or twice, you know it's hard, but you can make yourself do it, right? Try it every single fucking day. every single day. There's this one guy in my fucking DMs on Instagram. He's like, wow, you're not gonna. He's like, well, what do you know? You're not gonna get sleep benefits. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? I still get sleep. I still go to bed. I just have to go to bed earlier. And he's like, I don't fucking remember. It's so fucking irrelevant in my head. I don't even put time into it. But he was like asking me about like why I started waking up that early, and if I noticed a difference in my life. And I was like, yeah, dude, you should start doing it every single day. Pick a time that's it's gonna train your mental resilience. It's gonna train your discipline, and it's gonna affect all the other aspects of your life. You're gonna make a whole life rebirth. It's insane. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm already waking up at like 5 a.m. like 3 times a week. Like, I'm already like half doing it, so I think I'm good. You're a bitch! You're actually a bitch! Do you guys... Oh my god. If you guys are gonna go halfway on something, don't even do it at all. Don't even do it at all. Because you're training your brain that if you do half the amount of work, that's enough to get the dopamine hit. So you're not really gonna make the progress you want to make. It's either all or it's fucking nothing. It's all or nothing, bro. I'm telling you, bro, it is so possible for you to excel past your competition, past your friends, past your peers, past everyone talking shit to you. It is genuinely possible to become unrecognizable quickly, but not as quick as you think. It's still gonna take months and months and months. And to truly change, it's gonna take years. Which is why I need you guys to understand, because I'm literally yelling at my fucking self from last year because it pisses me off. I literally thought like that guy in my DMs. The amount of progress you make each day when you truly give 100% is like this. It's so minuscule, but it adds up. Brother, it truly does add up. But the reason you need to go all in, not halfway, is because the progress you make when you truly give everything each day is so minuscule, because there's only so much you can do each day. You only have 24 hours. And sometimes I wish the days were longer. It's before I wake up at 4:30. I wake up before it's even light out. And by the time 8 p.m. comes around and it's dark, I still wish there was more time. There's some days where I just want to work. I just want to work all the way past until the next day, but I know I have to go to bed because I'd have to get up early and make that sacrifice. And it's still not enough. 24 hours in a day. You have the same amount of hours in your day as a trillionaire does. As Elon Musk does. Think of any successful businessman, any successful person in your field. Whether it's, sports, whether you want to become a professional hockey player, whatever. It doesn't matter. These videos apply to any of you guys that are trying to reach the top 1% in any field, because it requires the same amount of sacrifices to get there. In order to become great, you need to put in an amount of effort and an amount of work that is great. If you don't make sacrifices to get there, that version of you becomes the sacrifice. You'll never get there. You'll never truly fulfill your potential. It doesn't matter what you want to achieve. what field that you want to get to the 1% in, you have to give 100%, bro. And the people you look up to, it doesn't matter who it is, in any field, any idol that you have, they have the exact same amount of hours in the day as you. They have the exact same. How do you think they would feel? Think about the idol in your field. Right? The person that you look up to, the person that you want to be like, the person that you want to emulate. Think about them. If they were sitting next to you and you told them, yeah, well, you know, I've been listening to your content, you know, I've been looking at your work, and, you know, I've started implementing it. I'm going like, I'm giving some effort into it. I'm going like halfway. Like, I know, my brain knows I could do more each day, but I'm giving enough effort. I think I am. How the fuck do you think they're gonna look at you? And be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, get out of my face. You're literally a bitch. Because the effort it took for them to get to where they are is ridiculous. You can't even conceive it if you're still someone that thinks going halfway is enough. No, bro. The reason you guys, and I did, God, it's just so bad. The reason you go to bed and you feel like shit and you feel like just so complacent is because when your head hits the pillow, you have so much more you could have given. You guys are going to bed with potential energy. I don't know how to explain it to you. Maybe some of you have experienced it, but going to bed knowing that you gave 100% in your work, in your habits, in your nutrition, in the gym, in your training, whatever it is, when you know you gave 100% from the moment you woke up to the moment you went to bed, on the action steps that it takes for you to achieve your goals, become the person, the version of you that you want to become, as much as you could do that day, which is only going to be very minuscule, like I said. But when you go to bed that day, it feels great. I don't know how to explain it to you, but it feels great going to bed knowing I truly gave 100%. You guys can get in bed at night and be like, oh, I'm happy to get my rest now. I know I gave some effort today. I've earned this. You can try to trick yourself into believing that, but your brain is not stupid, bro. Your subconscious knows that you could have done more. It knows. You can lay in the bed and say those words to yourself, but in the back of your head, you know, I could have given more. And until you do, you won't know this feeling. What it feels like to truly go to bed with no potential energy left. What it truly feels like for your whole body to be physically exhausted because you destroyed it in the gym. Because you destroyed it in your training. What it feels like for your mind to be drained. You can't even sit at your computer anymore and focus without just losing it. Because you've drained all of your brain calories. Going to bed with your body and your mind destroyed feels great. Because you know you've put as much effort into where you want to go as possible. Action alleviates all anxiety. All anxiety. And that anxiety is that potential energy you guys feel when you go to bed. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know if this is enough. Am I truly gonna reach my goals? Am I doing enough? You wouldn't have any of that. You wouldn't have any of that anxiety if you were doing everything you could. You wouldn't. Guys, I really want to see you. I really want to see you guys crush it. I really do. If any of these videos, guys, are helping you, DM me on Instagram. Tell me what you guys are struggling with. Tell me if these videos have made a difference. If I said something that opened your mind, please let me know. Because I wish I could have told myself these things last year. So maybe you're in a position where you know you could do more. Maybe you have all these goals in your head, these things you want to accomplish, these things you want to achieve. But it just feels so far away. And you're just stuck in your daily vices and your daily habits, and you know you need to break them. If that's you and these videos are helping you, and you're genuinely taking action, and you're seeing a difference in your life because of what I'm saying, you're not just watching them to release dopamine and think about taking action and think about reaching your goals. If these are genuinely helping you and you guys are taking action on them, please tell me. Just comment on this video, because that's why I make them. I make these videos to even if I can just motivate and inspire one person. That's all I want to do. Even if it's just one person. Because one person changing their life saves them 20, 30, 40 years of a life of complacency. It saves them from a depressing life. It alters the course of their life. If you can change your life at 20, at 25, it doesn't matter how old you are. It's not too late. Because the amount of years you have left in your life, decades. And if you choose to change today, yourself 10 years from now is going to be so glad. It's going to thank your past self for what you did. And because if you don't, like I just said, all of those years to come are going to be years of depression. Years of what you could have done, but you never decided to take action. You got this, boys. Go take action and stop half-assing everything you do in your daily life. You will notice a difference.